So we're gonna do a little banter.
I need water.
That we're gonna throw to you guys. You guys might as well be ready to play.
Yeah.
Because we'll do you guys can play and then we'll get into talking and stuff.
Holy crap, we're going to be on time.
What?
We are going to be on
Let's
time.
something. Yeah, rock and roll. That's not rock and roll. That's not rock and roll at all.
So no dead air. Somebody say something.
Right now?
Yeah, say something.
Are we on the air? No.
We're on live on YouTube.
We're on the air on YouTube?
We are.
Hi, YouTube.
Actually, I thought you guys all fit in perfectly today. No heads cut off. Nothing.
Here we go.
Shake It Up Radio.
Welcome to Shake It Up on Canuck Tunes Online Radio, broadcasting live from Hamilton's own pub, the Cat and Fiddle, 174 John Street, South Augusta. This week's guests, Ralphie Boy and Danger, Death Ray. Now, our host, who resents women because they always seem to know where things are. Here is famous Framus.
Thank you so much, Gary, for that lovely introduction. Presenting and yet appreciating the utility of actually knowing where things are.
Right.
That's where I'm balanced.
That's
Now,
like
yes.
back in the day when we got TV guides and you're wondering where the hell it is and it's in your hand.
Yes, exactly.
So
Around with
keys,
the,
underwear.
cigarette burns surrounding my chair, empty bottles, a black label. Those were the days, kids.
You know it.
Yes.
You know it. Another grand week. We got a beautiful day today.
We sure do.
It's going to be a grand weekend. We are kicking off St. Patrick's Day weekend
Today.
at the Cat. Today, right now.
We're
here.
the first event in the
The
St. Patrick's
long
96-hour
debauchery.
Olympics of debauchery.
And to celebrate, of course, Cat and Fiddle are pulling up the stops. They got some great menu items, including Irish stew, corned beef and cabbage, bangers and mash, steak and kidney pie with the potato and the veg.
That's fantastic.
Yummy. And, you know, in turn, they do have breakfasts now, starting at 9 a.m. over the weekend.
Green eggs and ham, I heard.
Right?
Yes.
Green eggs and ham.
Celebration of St. Patrick's Day weekend.
Yeah.
The first.
You know, and as little as $9 plus tax, $10 plus tax.
Yes.
Can't go wrong. Start your day off right, snap, crackle, burp.
If you're a real St. Patrick's Dayer, this will be the only meal that you eat all weekend because
Yes.
you don't want to kill your butts.
Exactly.
Yes.
And on top of our guests today, we also have Fiction, who plays tonight. Tomorrow night, the March 15th, we have Tim Gibbons and the Swamp Busters.
The Grand Poobah himself.
Right. The Sunday 16th, Quell the Swell. And on St. Paddy's Day proper, we have our resident Celtic band, Innisfree.
How could we have anybody else?
So another grand day. And of course, for those of you in the pub, we have the 50-50 draw. So please take part in
Today,
that.
yes, last week's winner, $11,472.
Yes.
Yes.
Minus a few dollars.
Minus $11,470.
Yeah.
So
It worked out well, though.
Yeah,
It worked out well.
for all of us.
For Cat and Fiddle details, check the social media. They're on Facebook, Cat and Fiddle Hamilton, Instagram, Cat and Fiddle Hamilton. And now, famous Framus and our first guest for this afternoon.
Such a great pleasure to have a diversity of styles and artists in Hamilton. Just shows that we're just chock full and crammed full of world-class talent. It is my absolute pleasure to introduce Danger Death Ray. Christopher and Daniel Farr. You want to hit us with something? Just hit us with something, you know?
We're going to start with Creepy Tiki. I named it that because it was inspired by the Tiki Tones. If
All
you've
right.
ever heard of it.
Well, we have now. Danger Death Ray, everybody.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Death Ray.
That one's from our
That's your first song on your first EP.
Right, yeah, that one's kind of been a cornerstone of our sets. It's been there from the start, and if you come see us live, you'll most likely hear that.
That's the starter. That's the rever. Everybody gets everybody revved up and into the Danger Death Ray world.
Yeah, I think it's a good representation of the songwriting and the music and the sets.
For sure. Now, that's the '67 film. Is that an inspiration behind the name? No.
No.
You've never-
67 film.
Danger Death Ray.
I thought we were talking about the song. Yes.
Yes. Were you? Did you guys watch that on a Saturday afternoon by accident? And how did you come to know this film? It's an obscure film made in the '60s about a bunch of spies, and somebody invents a death ray to. Where did you come about the film?
I was scanning which movies MST3K had done. Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Okay.
Because I know they've done some really campy sci-fi stuff. So we narrowed it down to 3 or 4, and we all like the name Danger Death Ray.
Oh, cool. What were the other candidates? You remember? No.
I don't remember.
They didn't.
It has a
6 years ago or something.
Did you watch the film, or did you just go by titles?
We have seen it,
Yeah.
and the film is not as good without the Mystery Science Theater 3000 commentary.
Okay.
Yeah, they had to, but it comes from this Man or Astro Man connection. So they're an instrumental band from the States, and they did some collaborations with Mystery Science Theater 3000. I think they did the theme for it. And we also like the Danger Death Ray incorporated some extra punctuation.
Yes.
Man or Astro Man has, I think, a question mark and ellipses. And we're also big fans of Shadowy Men and the Shadowy Planets.
Right. Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
That's some punctuation
royalty right there. Yeah.
So, yeah.
I know you guys did. This is jumping ahead a bit, but you guys did kind of a pilgrimage to catch up with Shadowy Men, or the creative the guitar player behind Shadowy Men to try and make a connection. A couple of years ago, was that?
We've been fanboying them for a while.
Yeah.
And
Stalking or fanboying, whatever.
Most recently, this was a little over a year ago, Brian, the guitar player from Shadowy Men, has a residency at a taco bar in Toronto. And he's playing with an ensemble there called Her Ghost. Very mysterious, very little social media presence or online presence.
Like a secret club, secret event.
It felt like that. There was only like 4 or 5 people.
Did you have to know a secret knock to get in?
Secret handshake. Yeah,
Secret
that's
handshake. Right on. So going back, what was the impetus behind, like, you guys are obviously our brothers. Have you been playing music together as youngsters coming up? Did you just come to this later on? How did this come about, your musical partnership and brothership?
Yeah, ever since I was 14, I think, so 14 and 16, around that time. I was in grade 9. We started playing together. We had been learning for maybe a year and decided it's time to get a band together.
Right.
So we got our friend who got us into guitar as the rhythm guitarist, and I played lead. They said that's because I had no rhythm.
Okay. Daniel got the bass because he had rhythm?
Daniel
Okay, let's see who can dance. Both of you guys dance
guitarists.
right now. Okay, you're a bass player, you're a guitar player.
Yeah. And we started our search for a drummer. So a friend of mine at school hooked us up with a drummer who we'd worked with a lot.
You guys went to school in Hamilton here?
No, Peterborough.
Peterborough. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, cool.
Yeah, that's where we grew up.
Peterborough, nice. The
Yeah.
Kawarthas.
Yeah, we're from Neil Young's hometown of Omimi.
Oh, me.
Yeah. So I don't know if anybody's seen the Netflix special that Neil Young recorded like 10 years ago or so. That was recorded where we had our first concert. The
And
Coronation
did they
Hall.
mention that in the recording, I hope?
I think Neil Young gave us a nod, yeah.
That's proper deal. So you guys started playing, were you playing the music of the day? That was, would that be in the 90s, late 80s, 2000s?
Yeah, what did we do? We did some alternative rock originals. We covered, I think, like Tragically Hip.
Okay, now you're flying the flag.
Queen.
Yes.
Yeah, Smashing Pumpkins.
Oh, yeah.
And did you guys have a singer? Was it their vocals involved in this music, or were you just doing the instrumentals of these songs? How did?
Yeah, we all took turns. And eventually we broke up. And then the three of us got back together, me, Daniel, and the drummer. And then we started playing instrumental.
Okay. And what was it that turned you on to this? Was it within this post-surf kind of punk, grunge, everything kind of thrown together, or were you going back to Dick Dale and kind of the classic instrumental stuff?
Yeah, at first it was clean surf.
Right.
At first it was Dick Dale, The Ventures, Shadowy Men on Shadowy Planet.
Right.
And later I would discover Man or Astro Man, Tijuana Bibles, and start playing more punk infused kind of surf.
Right. And what about, of course, Rumble and our man there who played all those classics, instrumentals? Yeah, Link Ray. Were you guys into Link Ray?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, the timing lined up with like the surf resurgence of the 90s that came with the Pulp Fiction soundtrack.
Yes.
Right. So when those songs were being heard more, that lined up well with where we were in terms of.
You guys were just at the right age to pick
Yeah.
something up, and yeah.
There's this perfect intersection of Shadowy Men and other things, and the Pulp Fiction soundtrack. Definitely.
Nice. Nice. Well, you want to hit us with another one?
Definitely.
Knock us over? All right. Danger Death Ray, everybody. Unplugged. This feels like MTV in the 90s. Without the cocaine. Well, I'm speaking for you guys, of course. I'm bumped up to the rafters, but me and Jesse.
So this is called Pixie Dust because it was inspired by the Pixies. It was inspired by the song Cecilia Ann specifically, which it turns out is not even a Pixie song. It was a cover.
Beautiful confusion.
We
We come up with our own truths.
You didn't
actually.
really know as much stuff before the internet, right? Like you get
Right.
the CD,
Yeah.
and maybe if you read something in Guitar World or so on, you get
Totally.
some more insight.
It's magazine culture,
You
yeah.
didn't have the transparency and line of sight into all of the influences and lineages.
Exactly where you could reverse engineer all this music, right? Yeah, for sure.
1, 2.
dramatic foundation of kind of a Western sound as well as underneath your guys' music. Like I find myself riding the bar stool as if I'm on the back of a horse chasing a runaway stagecoach or something. Is that something that is a conscious effort that you do? Even your other songs that I've seen you guys play so much over the years, there's kind of a Western kind of a thing underneath all of it. Is that something that you're doing on purpose?
No, most of the songs, no, it just comes out that way. I mean, Shadowy Men are kind of country western influence.
True.
So I think that carries over into songs we've written inspired by Shadowy Men.
Right. It gives it a pleasant kind of drive. Like it's a bouncy C. You know what I mean? It's a C. It's a bouncy C. Give me a bouncy C.
There's like when you're listening to instrumental music and surf music, you come across like rockabilly and some of this twangier stuff that has this country western influence.
For sure.
And Reverend Horton Heat.
Reverend Horton Heat.
He was one of my early influences.
So there's some synergies there.
Yes, spaghetti westerns.
Yeah, I was nice enough. I was lucky enough to have somebody in your band take me to see Reverend Horton Heat for the first time, and I was quite blown away for sure.
And the opening band was an instrumental surf band.
Yeah, instrumental surf band, exactly. Yeah, all Natalie attired. The sound was so perfect. I wasn't quite sure if they were playing or not. That's how.
Yeah, they have it down to an art.
They do, yeah.
We're talking about the Surfer-Jets from
Surfer
Toronto.
Jets, yes. And they have the tableau down, something that you guys do as well in concert as a visual kind of aspect to what you guys do.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because if you don't have a lead singer who's bringing that personality, like I think it opens up an opportunity or some space to perform for the audience.
Yeah, goof around a little bit, get everybody smiling and happy for sure. Yeah, and you guys have been super prolific. You released many EPs, singles, and you've done. Notice you've also had a conscious effort through your career to collaborate with other bands within kind of the genre. Do joint releases. You did some joint releases with bands.
Yeah, we've done some splits. I think that's a great way to reach new audiences and also give people something interesting to listen to. So we did a split with the Green Reflectors from out east. They're Canadian. They're brothers as well.
Yeah, they came here and played at Clifford with you guys, did they not?
Yes, they did.
Yes.
Yeah. So they make their way to Ontario once in a while. They're good pals with Mark Malibu and the Wasagas, so we did a show all together at Clifford's, and it was nice to finally meet them in person after just communicating all day.
Yeah. And how do you, is there like a specific kind of community space where you guys can put your music in and you can also draw music out and kind of make connections and be within a community so you can kind of put these kind of plans together, or do you just kind of show up at other band shows, or they come to yours and seek you out?
A little bit of all of that.
Yeah.
There's some online communities and forums, but locally, the band seemed to gather around some key events like the Great Lakes Surf Battles.
Right.
That we had an event here in Hamilton last summer at the Corktown. That's kind of organized by the Blue Demons. They're an instrumental band that have been in Toronto for like 20 years or something like that. And so they will have a battle evening, but otherwise they have some friendly events, some exhibition matches. And that's a great place to go out and meet other people who are playing, like-minded people in similar genres. But the nice thing about those events is Pete, the organizer, he's done a really good job of bringing in a variety of bands in the community. So he'll have a band that has some vocals, a heavier band, a lighter band, a band that does more covers, more originals.
Right. I like the way those shows are contextualized though as battles or this band versus that band. I love seeing those posters and this kind of the setup to the shows where, it's not really, head cutting, but you're trying to bring out the best of everybody.
There is an award at the end of the evening though.
There is, eh?
Yeah.
And is it through fan voting? Is it through how is it?
I think
He
it.
decides.
Oh yeah, the one man
How much
decides.
you pay out?
Well, that wouldn't be right with any kind of corruption, I'm sure.
I think it's by audience appreciation.
And has that always been a part of the kind of the surf band culture? That kind of this band versus that band or battles? Has it always been throughout the kind of the history of the genre, or is this kind of a newer thing?
I can't think of any other specific examples of that. But I mean, the Blue Demons are here to kick ass, so they want to rumble.
Good stuff, man. Could be motorcycle clubs just rolling in and battling to the death, and then jumping on the bikes and riding home. Surf bands and bike clubs. Yeah, for sure. You guys want to hit us with another one?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right.
I forget what song.
Okay. Yeah, let's do Creature.
Should I tell them about Creature? Yeah. All right. So one time I was abducted by a creature. I was taken to a black planet where I was probed. As in, he asked me uncomfortable questions.
Yes. Kind of like right now.
Yes, similar
Probing
experience
right
to this
here at
show.
Shake It Up Radio. That's what we do here is probe.
We like a good pro.
He returned me unharmed to my home. This is called Creature from the Black Planet.
Kidnapped and taken to a black planet and probed, which pretty much writes itself. How does the songwriting work within the band? What's the secret sauce to songwriting within Danger Death Ray?
Well, I have these crazy dreams if I sit in a silent room or if I'm out bicycling and not listening to music, and I start hearing a melody in my head. And then from there, I just keep playing that melody until I come up with a bass line, a second part, a third part, and put them all together. And I give Daniel a tab, and I give myself a cheat sheet, and bam, that's the crazy journey to how to get a new song.
You've just got your antennae always open when you've got that space and time to do it, and you just wait for the stuff to come to you and through you, and that's how it works.
Usually, lately that hasn't worked so well. Lately, I just pick up a guitar and see what happens.
Right.
But for a long time, for most of these songs, it was just if I listen to silence, I start hearing something in my head.
So when you know you're kind of you feel the rumblings of the gumbo boiling up, do you make a conscious effort to? Because I know I did this for myself when I started writing. I did it for like probably. It could have been a year or even 2 years. I didn't listen to any music at all, and because I didn't want anything that I was hearing to bleed into what I was doing.
Wow.
In a specifically intense songwriting period, I just started listening to talk radio, and music was out. Now, when you feel like you are cooking, do you make a conscious effort to not listen to music because you don't want it bleeding into what you're doing?
I make a recording to make sure I don't lose that.
Okay. Yep.
I use my phone to make a simple recording.
Yeah, these phones are great tools for that, for sure. Yeah.
But there has to be an irreverence to how you create, because you look at some songs from Shadowy Men, like "Dim the Lights, Chill the Ham" kind of thing, right? It gives you that open door to expand what you think that genre should be. You know what I mean? Like the goofy titles, and meanwhile it can be something.
Yeah, the titles are
Latino sound,
sure,
right?
Yeah.
So the same applies. You have, as much as you have that melody in your head, the style of music you play gives you that open door to really, I don't know, let it hang out, or just give it a fatter guitar sound, or you know what I mean? It's just that.
For sure, it's something that to hang on it to kind of. Make it distinct so that you know that it's going to become the creative thing that the kernel, what you're getting, like do you put it in a headlock until you get like one of those funky titles, and then okay, this is going to be this, so it'll take me in this direction, or does it kind of tell you how it's going to go?
It tells me.
Right. So you get the melody, and then once you have that melody choked out, then you can get a bass line, you can...
Yeah, and let it work itself out.
And that's when you bring Daniel into the process?
Well...
Here comes the tears, everybody.
He's my brother, man! He's my brother!
At this point, I have 100 demos to work from. So it's not like as soon as I finish a song, I give it to him.
Right.
I put it in the pile.
Yes. So you have, you're constantly just smashing stuff onto your phone, dropping it in there, and then when you get so many, you go back and think, okay, now I'm going to do this to that, or this is going to do this to me, or?
No, I usually do one at a time.
You do?
One, yeah, and then when it's finished, then I'll take some time to breathe.
If it's good, it'll come back to me, that kind of thing, do you think?
Yeah, well, no, I finish it and I put it in the pile.
Right.
And then I start the next thing.
Okay. And then now, Daniel, when it's passed to you, what's your process? What's your, what do you do to it? Do you throw it on the ground and stomp on its belly? Do you throw it through a bar window? What do you do with it?
Since there are so many demos for us to work from, and I feel like I don't have the musical background or insights to like reconstruct what Christopher's doing or things like that. I kind of think about it more from an audience point of view, because I'm getting, instead of just coming with like a riff, I'm hearing the whole song. So I have this advantage of like hearing the whole thing kind of at once. And so we'll go back and forth on like, which songs we think would be best to build into the band next. And like, well, we have a lot that kind of go in this direction. So let's put something in that kind of, little bit more twang, or a little bit more grunge, or
Yes,
something.
tempo change, that kind of thing. So
Yeah.
you have more of a roller coaster show as opposed to a straight line of
Yeah,
these songs are all kind of the same tempo, same.
not to get too philosophical, I can't help it.
Do it. Get philosophical, man. It's St. Patrick's Day weekend. We're all going to be hammered. We're all going to be hammered in an hour. Nobody's going to be remember this.
Plato talked about like the poets not really knowing what they're doing, and I mean that in a positive way, right? Like
Yes.
they're this conduit, and so maybe sometimes you're not the best judge of your material, and I don't mean that like this is good or bad, but you're just focusing on creating and getting that down and putting it out there.
Right.
And so that gives me an opportunity in our relationship as musicians to come in as the perspective of an audience.
How's it going to land?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, the poets have no idea what they're doing, as well they shouldn't, because if they did, they wouldn't do it.
Or think of like the Van Gogh brothers, right? Like Vincent did all the painting, and then the brother was selling it all.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
that might be
You're the
my
Theo?
role in this. Yeah,
The Theo?
Yeah. So maybe one day they'll publish our emails to each other.
Leave them in a notebook in a French kitchen for a couple hundred years, and maybe they'll find it. But that's a good kind of yeah. You have kind of a symbiotic relationship. You have your roles within the band, and you give and take, and do it in a brotherly love kind of way, as opposed to a brotherly rolling around underneath the coffee table kind of way.
But sometimes I'll look at something like a bass line and I'm like, why are you doing it like this? I was like, well, because the guitar's doing this, so it resolves over here, or like I'm filling in this this harmony over here and things like that.
Yes.
I've learned to trust
Resolution within music. Yes, for sure. That's cool. Well, how about some more music, boys? This is fascinating.
Sure, Venetian Idols. Should I tell the story?
Yes.
This song.
Tell the stories, Christopher.
It started with this riff. I can do it on acoustic. And I was brushing my teeth and gargling. That's how this song started. So I called it gargling.
That's it. I'm going to start brushing my teeth. I don't know about you guys. This helps my art. I'll do it, goddammit.
And so it was called Gargling at first, and we decided to rebrand it Sci-Fi. So that's why it's Venusian Idols. Idols because gargling made me think of a gargoyle. And then Venusian because it's spacey. So this is Venusian Idols.
I got to say, Christopher, I love your mind. Danger Death Ray, everybody. everybody. I love the fact that sleeping, riding bike, sitting silently, brushing your teeth, no part of your day is safe from the creative process.
I said it. Yep.
Yes, you are tuned in and tuned out and tuned on at all times.
You could say that.
Yes, and you guys are so proficient instrumentally, musically. Are you? Is this just through woodshedding the shit out of them, or were you guys? Did you guys have an academic kind of music school base to start out? Like, what was the impetus to become so proficient at your instruments? Is it just an obsession, or is it what is it?
As for instrument proficiency, like I just want to play the songs right.
Right.
Some of the stuff I come up with is complex and have to get good.
That's the understatement of the day, kids. It is complex and it is good. Yes. So right from the jump, when you guys started playing, did you grab that kind of mindset that if we're gonna play, we're gonna know our shit. So we better practice. We better right from the jump. You weren't being like punkers who were like, ah, fuck it. It's about the vibe. It's not about the it's not about the proficiency.
I think it depends on the style of music that we're playing. So
Right.
the compositions that Christopher puts together, we try to stay faithful to that.
Yes. Because you guys it's out front. Like there's no, like you said before, there's no front man, climbing light standards and vomiting on the stage and spewing lyrics to kind of cover up.
Yeah, the
what you
guitar
guys
is
are
doing the
doing.
singing,
The
right?
guitar
So-
and to the same extent your instrumentation too. You guys are the tip of the spear, so it better be sharp, right?
And I try to be proficient because if I don't, I have to pay for my mistakes.
Is there a band fine?
$50 per
system?
mistake.
It's cheap, yeah. It's
Wow. I only find my band members $5.
That's how our album was funded, by my mistakes. Yeah.
Put it in the mistake.
Yes, my whole career has been funded by my mistakes, actually. Career in parentheses for you radio listeners.
No, I'll hear about it after a gig. We'll get a little email, a little memo. It's in this section here. Practice this.
That's amazing. See, somebody's got to crack the whip. There's got to be a couple of hands on the wheel of the bus for sure.
Thank you.
Yes.
There's been times I've asked to change things because I found it too difficult.
Yes.
And you'll say, yeah, you can
Just work harder.
Yeah, it's like you can change it after you've mastered it.
Now, can you pick up the bass and say, well, if it's so hard, here, and then you can do it on the bass too, or you strictly stick to guitar and you'll just kind of play the bass part on your guitar?
Play a little bass.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can play
That's probably a
I
super
don't
understatement.
show off.
No, just to show though.
Just to show off.
Just to show. No.
Well, if there's a need for it, sure.
Okay. See, we're starting. I'm trying to dig into this brotherly strife. Get this St. Paddy's Day weekend brawl started off early. It's not working out. We're not drinking enough. So you guys, of which I've been honored to be a part of, you guys have had a kind of a showcase going on in Hamilton here for a couple of years now.
Yeah,
At the Doors Pub.
we started in fall 22.
22. Wow.
We've had a few exceptions because of other commitments with the bands,
Mhm.
but I think we're going to move into our 24th showcase
Amazing.
in April.
And that's surf rock, instrumental, but you bring in other bands, like you bring
Yeah,
in.
we cast a wide net,
Yes.
which I think is important when you're doing monthly showcases.
Yeah.
This year, we are consolidating them into seasonals so that we can make them bigger and better. So the next one is Friday,
It's
April
coming up.
4th
Yes.
at the Doors. So it's going to be Danger Death Ray, the Treble Tones, great surfabilly band, and Toronto race car surf rockers, Los Speedos.
Race car surf rock. Oh, okay. I thought they wore Speedos. That's when I read the poster. I thought
Maybe underneath, they wear these like coveralls, and maybe
oh,
they
like
got-
race car.
maybe underneath they got the rocking Speedos. I don't know.
Yes. Well, I hope so.
We'll find out in the green room, I guess. And we have our friend DJ Spirit Walker.
Yes.
He'll be downstairs at the Doors spinning vinyl all night long, doing fuzz and twang and garage.
Nice.
Yeah.
And have you guys? Are you doing? What's the status of? I know you guys have been so prolific recording and releasing music. Are you in the midst of that as well, or have you been doing any recording?
Yeah, we have the tracks selected and they're timed to fit on a 7-inch. So we're going to be.
So what is it? How much time does the 7-inch give you? 30 minutes?
About 5 minutes on each side.
Oh, 5 minutes on each side. Okay.
Yeah. So we've got some tracks there, some stuff that we've been polishing at shows, and then a couple of new ones as well that haven't been played before. So we'll have something old and something new, but none of these tracks have been recorded or released before. And
everything is vinyl now. Only vinyl for you guys?
I like to do that because there's the digital streaming stuff. I find like the low bit rate, I don't enjoy listening to it.
Right.
And I think there's something special about having the large album cover.
The tactile experience, yeah, for sure.
But we do make it available online, multiple platforms. We have some online only releases as well, some kind of one-off stuff for holidays, Halloween, Christmas releases. We did a few digital things during COVID as well.
Yeah, that's right. You just did a digital Christmas, was it last December as well? Or December before?
We did Christopher's arrangement of Carol of the Bells.
That's right, yeah. I just listened to that actually this morning.
Yeah, that was fun.
Very cool, yeah. Just to mix things up.
Yep. Well, we were invited years ago to play, to submit a track to a surf Christmas compilation CD by Mark Malibu and the Wasagas.
Yes.
And so we got into this habit of it and planning it way ahead of time. And so we had something ready to go this year. There was no comp, but we wanted to release it and share it. So
nice. And what about other? This is coming into the time where we need to do our applications for this, that, and the other thing. Are you doing any kind of? Are you aiming towards any festivals? Any summertime kind of things, outdoor stuff? Have you got?
Yeah, we're submitting applications, and so I think we'll start to hear back about some of those soon. I don't have any confirmed right now. Yeah, that's always fun because you get a different audience as well, right? Like when we were playing at Gage Park last year, there were people walking by, there for other purposes, and then they'll stop and listen to it and comment, and then you can gain new followers and have conversations.
So it's such an engaging form of genre of music, for sure.
Yeah. And playing outside is really neat. Like when you're used to playing like dark bars at midnight.
Yeah.
Playing outside during the daytime it feels different.
Right. No doubt. No doubt. Well, have you got another one to hit us with there, Christopher?
Yeah, we got one.
More good stuff.
Okay.
Danger Death Ray, everybody. Danger Death Ray.
So if you've heard of Shadowy Men on the Shadowy Planet, the guitarist is named Brian Connolly. After Shadowy Men, he started a band called Atomic 7. And they released an album called Something for the Girl with Everything. So we named this in tribute to Brian Connolly. This song is called Something for the Demon with Everything. Hey, Johnny.
Thank you.
We got time for one more song.
They've been on 46 minutes, so I guess so.
I met your parents. They're sweet people, and they must be just absolutely thrilled that you guys are.
I was going to turn into therapy.
I met your parents, and they told me get into these things with you boys, but no, they're sweet people, and they must be just over the moon to see you guys. Having a band and doing music together. And were they musical growing up? Did you guys get bombarded by music at all? Were they players, listeners, appreciators of music? No, Christopher shaking his head.
Not really.
No.
Well, yeah, ABBA CD and a couple others.
An ABBA CD. Well, that explains everything.
Yeah, the radio was always playing.
I thought you were going to say Dad had an abacus. Say, well, that explains everything.
He goes back.
Damn these calculators! Give me my abacus.
I remember our mother was taking organ lessons when we were younger. So we had this organ in the household, and I was taking lessons on it. I hated the music that I was learning on the organ, so I ended up quitting it because of that. But I do remember like sitting there practicing like Camptown Races, singing the song, that kind of stuff. And I'm struggling with it, and I'd walk away, and Christopher would come over next and like start to play the melody by ear.
Oh yeah.
And so on, things like that. So his musical aptitude was already there from the beginning, and this all kind of started because of our father's acoustic guitar.
Oh.
Was it a Vibra?
Yeah, it was a Vibra.
Yeah, which I think only recently has left our lives. It was with us a long time.
Really?
So
it's just kind of sitting around the house. Everybody kind of has like a guitar. At one time, they've tried to play guitar, and it just kind of sits there in the home.
Yep.
And you guys, so you discovered it and started goofing around with it at an early age. How did it work?
Yeah, I was like 11, 12 years old. Maybe.
Right.
And our friend got us into guitar.
Showed you a few things.
Yeah. Printed some tabs.
Tablature, yes.
Yeah, because it coincided with the birth of the internet.
The birth of the internet.
There may not have been like images in JPEGs, but you could get these tablatures.
Yes.
Right? And it was
tablatures and porn.
There were we're working at Teenage Boy Hospital. And there were a lot of mistakes and errors in them, but
both of them, tablatures and porn.
But it kind of gave you a starting place
for sure.
To play riffs and to get excited about songs.
Something that sounds like something.
Yeah, because otherwise you'd have to buy like Guitar World magazine, right? But this was something that you could get if you had an internet connection.
Well, that's the thing about a guitar is it sounds just like garbage, and then as soon as you discover that you can play something that sounds like something, it's like they're hooked.
I think, not to disrespect anybody else, but to me the guitar is the perfect instrument, right? Like it's simple, it's portable, you can play all kinds of music on it, jazz, classical, rock and roll, folk, you can play advanced music, you can play simple music.
Yes.
You can go get an acoustic guitar for $100 or something.
Absolutely.
It's the perfect instrument.
Absolutely, 100%. And you guys have done your the recordings that you do. Again, like I say, you've been quite prolific. You've worked with quite a few studios around Hamilton. Is that how you guys have done it, or have you done some at home, or how does it work?
It's mostly all been at home, except for our LP, which we did at Downtown Sound with Mario.
Yeah, that was a great record.
Thank you. The studio is no longer open.
You guys wore him out. He quit right after you guys.
Yeah, we
pretty much.
We literally broke a few things while we were in there.
You broke Mario.
Yeah. We'll leave it there.
Yeah, he's a great guy. Just kidding, Mario. You're
Otherwise, like home recordings have been suitable for an instrumental band, a 3-piece. So it's not too complicated. We don't have the vocals and all of that. So, I still think there's areas that it's a learning experience. Each time we do it, there's something I would want to do different.
No doubt.
So I think it'll continue to improve. But with the tools that we have for home recording, you can do a lot.
For sure. Yeah. And you guys, if we're looking for Danger Death Ray, we look on all the socials, all the platforms, all the, you guys are everywhere.
Yep, go to dangerdeathray.com.
Dangerdeathray.com.
Dangerdeathray.ca.
Yes.
If you want to keep it with
Canadian.
Canada,
Keep it Canadian, everybody.
That's
.ca.
Canadian domain.
Elbows up.
And everything, you can find everything from there, the Bandcamp, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook.
Upcoming shows.
Yeah,
Yeah.
upcoming shows, links to music, images,
Great.
all the good stuff.
You guys have got
Merch,
the
swag, super secrets.
yeah. That's great. And you guys have got the show coming up in April,
Friday,
April 4th
at Doors Pub.
at Doors Pub.
That's right.
Well, it's been an absolute pleasure having you boys on the show.
Oh, thank you.
Nobody shed any tears, so we'll just have to have some more beers on the inside. I cry in the car before I come in the bar. So every Friday morning, you see me out there crying at the St. Charles parking lot around 11:37.
Thank you very much.
But
for having us.
how about playing us out? And what an absolute pleasure having you guys on the show.
I think I know just the song to play there.
Thanks again, everybody. Danger Death Ray. Put your hands together. Hamilton's own.
You are listening to Shake It Up Radio, live on CanuckTunes.ca, broadcasting from the Cat and Fiddle, corner of John Street South at Augusta in Hamilton. You were just listening to Danger Death Ray. We'll be back in about 15 minutes with Ralphie Boy. Don't go away, there's more to come. We are kicking off St. Patrick's Day weekend.
Good job.